Oh hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Hakuna La Planta. My name is Kevin, and today I'm gonna go through some of my favorite plants. The first few plants are all Anthuriums, and I've been waiting to show you. It's the queen. I'm showing you the queen today, all hardened off and everything, and I'm so excited. She is so beautiful. Unfortunately, no Hoyas today. I'm sorry, guys. I think I overwhelmed a lot of people last week. I just want to give a moment for all the rest of these to shine. Okay, I'm gonna have to stand back here because she is right here, and you could already see how big and massive. I look tiny next. Do you see? I look tiny. The first plant is the Queen Anthurium. Y'all know that I've had success with this plant specifically in the summertime. I think it was July. This leaf was like weirdly like fatter than what I was expecting. And she still has this leaf. She looks rough. But after that, there was a new leaf. I accidentally sliced it while she was still like pretty juvenile. I was very sad, you know, just coming off that high of seeing that new leaf and then waiting for a new one and it just being over, done. Ooh, y'all, okay. Look. Hold on, I wanna go here. Yes, this is good. Jeez. What's going on? Oh my, oh, my legs still hurt from the concert. Oh my gosh, I'm squatting. The queen of all queens is here. She's definitely appearing bigger because obviously the petiole is long. She's closest to the camera, but this would be a good thumbnail. By far the biggest leaf. I don't think she's as fat as the other one, like I was saying. I'm so happy. This was a leaf that I was so careful not to touch. This leaf. Okay, I am touching it now because she is actually like hardening off. This is just so incredible and I'm so happy. Can we just do a video on you? Because you look so pretty. I don't know if, okay, do you see the one in the back? Wow, I thought this one was big. Oh, this one. But right over here, you could see the crisping. So again, she is living in Le Pond. I want to say it's been 2 years. I think 9-10 months ago, I did put like a collar. I call it the Christmas tree. It's the plastic. Can y'all see the plastic here? I just use old deli containers to make essentially more pot, just vertically. Added more pot. Previously, I kind of added moss to cover the rest of the stem and the aerial roots just so they would root in the moss. I just like don't necessarily, I know I have moss pools everywhere, but I don't necessarily like having a lot of wet moss in here. In my experience, the fungus gnats have been going off. Oh my God, I thought this one was big. Are you kidding? Wow. I know I'm gonna get this question. How long have you had Miss Queen Anthurium? I got her in 2020, so I've had her for quite a while. It's been 3 years. Late 2020, I got this queen, and it's hilarious how she kind of looks more like a dark form, and I still want a dark form. Oh my gosh, like that's definitely one that I want in the future. I started her in LECA, she did well. I think ultimately though, when the roots grew into the water, you saw a lot of yellowing prematurely on the leaf. And because everyone was talking about how Anthuriums grow so well in Le Pond, when Pond was like newer to the scene, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that. And she did okay. She is one of the more sensitive Anthuriums if I'm basing it just on my experience with my Anthuriums. So I have learned that you do need to flush this plant thoroughly in order to like not have damage to the leaf when it's unfurling. I know. I usually talk about how I don't flush, and I still really don't, except for when it comes to now velvet leaf Anthuriums. Philodendrons, Hoyas, oh my gosh, I've had some Hoyas in like a planter, no flushing, and I could see the salt and they're happy. Velvet leaf Anthuriums though, you can definitely tell. I have only sprayed this plant once. This leaf back here, I was so worried, and I was like, I'm gonna spray it every single day in the afternoons just to get rid of the bad stuff on the surface of the leaf as it's unfurling. She's like the least damaged leaf, but yeah. Can we just, I just want this video to be about her. I don't want to move on. What else can I talk about? Okay, I'm really no expert first of all, when it comes to Anthuriums. I think I just like trying things when it comes to Anthuriums and experimenting. They're still very tricky for me, I think. And people ask like where I get my advice on growing Anthuriums. I really don't follow anyone. I just try to use the fundamentals that I use with philodendrons, Hoyas, Monsteras, and just kind of adjust. I think that's ultimately the biggest thing that you can do when it comes to the success of growing plants, because first of all, there's a lot of, there's a lot of not good stuff out there when it comes to Anthurium care. Ultimately, the advice that I give you here about this, like what I just said, you don't need to listen to it, because you might be growing an Anthurium in like a cabinet or a tent. Like it might be so different. Your environment might be so different, and like the temperature too. Like my temperature goes as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's like the lowest that you should go, but it does fluctuate. But like right now at night, it's like 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I think another reason why this leaf is so big is because I have a moss pole, and I have seen rootage in the moss pole. I'm actually like so scared. I was gonna bring it over. I just don't want this leaf to like hit. Please, please, please. Okay. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Okay. 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 Nope. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Ooh. You know, the leaf is so like, it feels really good. Like it feels really strong and hardy. I find at this stage, once they've definitely hardened off, they can take a lot. And it's interesting because this is one of the first queen leaves. I had it against the window and I was scared. I was like, okay, is it gonna be bleached? And like, it might be a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. It really did a good job. Like, look at, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna my stomach is making noises. The first plant. Y'all, I don't know if y'all are excited. I don't want to end it. The first plant, the Queen Anthurium. Oh my God, I spent like half an hour taking videos and pictures of this beauty. Okay, I don't remember the last time I featured the Queen and the King in the same video. The second plant is the King Anthurium, the Anthurium Veitchii. Now, I want to wait a little bit, but I think it's just fitting that the Queen is also looking real good. The newest leaf is not hardened off yet. I do like the color when it isn't hardened off yet. Like it's this yellowy, bronzy color, I think. Is it? Sorry, she's in the living room. Yeah, she's there. So this King, from my understanding, is just the regular form. I know there's a narrow version of this plant. I do want that one. I haven't seen it anywhere. Like if y'all live in Canada, you know, where there's like a narrow King, let me know. Still a beauty. I had to move her because I had to put the ring light here. She actually lives behind y'all. Oh my God. Oh, I don't know if you heard that. Try to be careful, try to be careful, try to be careful, try to be careful. I had to like cut off 3 leaves because you can see the older leaves here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you know, just so shocking because that was yesterday that I cut the leaves. There were 7 leaves. So look at the abs. Oh my gosh. And yeah, you see why I want to feature both the King and the Queen in this video. It is so incredible. Ooh, oh man. Oh my God. The truck driver liked it too. Yeah. These Anthuriums are so hardy. Put them anywhere. Low humidity, blasting air conditioning, blasting heat. I think I only started flushing this planter, but before that, I wasn't. I'm gonna see what happens with the other growth moving forward because you can see the size difference between these 2 leaves. This is the newest leaf, and I think she is starting to harden off just based on how she feels, and she's not as big. This could be for a number of reasons. It's not light because she's up against the south-facing window, but I always say, think about repotting if the newer leaves are getting smaller, if you see stunted growth in the new leaves. I don't want to say that this is stunted growth because that's just dumb. Like clearly she's still happy and she's big. I'm just gonna have to observe moving forward with the newer leaves after this one if I need to take a look at the roots. Potential that the roots have grown to the reservoir. Maybe there was a watering where I overwatered it and the roots rotted. I can't see that. I can't remove anything unless I repot this plant, and so I'll just see. Oh yeah, also this might be it too. pond is dropping. There was an inflow coming from this leaf and I didn't notice until much later and I cut it off. So maybe that's why this leaf is smaller. There's so many things. Like, this is where my mind goes when I'm looking at my plants, assessing. Depending, I might repot her into, oh gosh, I don't even know, a bigger pot. Like, where am I even gonna put you? But one thing I like about the Veitchii is that, in my experience, the internodes kind of stay close to the ground even though the plant keeps, you know, pushing out new leaves. So I don't necessarily need to do that thing that I did with the Queen Anthurium with the cone and pon or the collar, or like putting sphagnum moss. Like, I don't need to do that. And yeah. It's funny because I don't know what y'all can see. I'm looking at the screen, and because these plants are so big, I'm so far from the camera. I'm like, I don't know if this is doing it justice. I'm just gonna let them dance like this. Oh, okay. Also, I think I got this plant 2 years ago, 2021. Little cutie, and look at this beast now. Incredible. So incredible. Who is obsessed? Because I am obsessed. Okay, so the Anthurium Veitchii. Okay, I showed this in a plant tour video recently. I'm still so happy with it. She is Damagania, but these things will happen. The third plant is the Anthurium Regale. I have grown like large leaves on this Anthurium. Again, specifically, I think it was like spring, May, was it May, June? And she slayed. She really did. The only thing is that I think I subjected this leaf to too much light. Similar to like what I was saying with the Queen Anthurium, she is up against the south-facing window. And so with the newest leaf that I'm gonna show y'all, I tried to shield her with my Monstera and my Anthurium Regale and face her the other way. And she's like a lot darker, I think, than the previous one. I'm gonna talk about my experience about the previous leaf that I haven't really shown y'all and what I think happened, but okay, I'm dragging her. She's over here. Oh, okay. Ooh. Look at this. So again, like I said, holes. I'm okay with it. Overall, the leaf looks healthy. I just think she had some slamming against other leaves in the past that caused that damage, but she overall looks stunning. Yes, I am squatting right now. The color is much darker. She's so pretty. She's so, so, so pretty. Okay, let's talk about the leaf before and what I think happened. So I'm gonna rotate her. Look at this. So this isn't the leaf that I think I showed you that grew really well in the spring. This is the leaf after. I talked about this briefly in a Patreon video, but I was saying how I think there was a point, sorry, I need to like stand. I think there was a point where I accidentally added too much CalMag or too much FloraMicro to my mix, and I talked about how I always mix my nutrient solutions in a 13-gallon bucket and a 5-gallon bucket. Obviously those measurements or the concentrations are different. So I think I might have put the amount I was supposed to put in my 13-gallon into my 5-gallon. So I think it was just like too much, because I have seen like there's a few plants that have showed a bunch of damage. I was gonna put her down and talk about her, but this is the collar. I used an old clear planter. You can see that she's rooted quite a bit. Once she grows a little more, I have a moss pole. I'm gonna add moss to it. Whew. It looks really good. It looks really, really, really good. So anyhow, because that was like one of my theories, I did a really good flush right before this plant grew, fed it with nutrients, and we are here. Not as big as the other one, but I will take it based on what the previous leaf looked like. She is so gorgeous. Overall, in my opinion, I think this leaf looks a lot healthier. It might just be because she's not facing the south-facing window. She's not getting that bleaching from the sun, but I am just so happy. She looks so pretty. I don't know how people keep regales happy. I actually haven't seen that many regales. Do people still own this plant, or are they annoyed? The moment I started collecting plants, the regale was one that I just was so obsessed with. I think it's the overdramatic veins and then the sinus. I know mine isn't that wide, but like I just love a wide sinus, similar to like a Decipens, for example. And yeah, I'm just, look at her. She's looking so good. Okay, so the Anthurium Regale. Fourth plant, I'm gonna do one of my Thai constellations. And I don't know, I just really love this leaf right now. She's finally hardened off. I'm just kind of waiting for another aerial root first before I propagate her. And here she is. Beauty, 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 beauty. So she's hardened off now, which is nice. Nice and shiny still. So beautiful. I say that I want to wait for another root because I broke the one over here and I know there's a little bit, so she'll probably branch from above that. I do see that there's another one coming. And with this plant here, I'm treating this as one of my mother's where, you know, she was a huge propagation before and then she grew out of that node, chopped her again, and now she has these leaves. Then I'm gonna chop her again and fingers crossed she pushes out more growth. I think this one has been really fast to push out leaves that are more mature just because she already has an existing root system already established in here. This is a Pon LECA mix and she definitely needs to be repotted, but unless she's showing signs that she needs to be repotted, I'm not going to. Like clearly she's fine. Look at this leaf. I'm gonna chop her soon, and I mean that's why I want to show y'all this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful leaf. Just outstanding. Thai constellations are my favorite. Y'all know that. I have so many. And how beautiful. Not much to say in those same planters. So this one I haven't flushed. I maybe flushed once ever in like the 2 years that she's been living in here. Usually I just use water and then once a month I do a dilute nutrient solution, and yeah. So that's her, Monstera Thai Constellation. And she lives right over here. Okay, we're just gonna stick to 5 favorites, and then I have one honorable mention at the very end. This one is so left field from the other ones I showed because they all have large leaves, but kind of in its own way, it is like a more mature leaf. The Syngonium, weird. Syngonium Wendlandii. I think my biggest issue is that I kind of, in the past, have put this Wendlandii in a place where I can't see it, so I did ignore her a lot. My logic was if I didn't have enough room, I would put plants that could actually survive for a long period of time. It sounds so bad. If I knew a plant could take a lot, and that goes with my mojito, and she's been ignored, and I need to address that in a future video. She starts to mature so beautifully. And I'm showing her because I feel like they're gonna lose their silver stripe. And like the silver stripe is my favorite. And oh gosh, the sun is here. Here she is. Look at this up here. I mean, but do you see, as they get like that tri-leaf shape, the silver streak is getting like thinner and thinner compared to like what you see down here from like all the other plants. And I think it's time. I talked about how I prefer when the plants are more juvenile just because that stripe stays, but I think I'm ready to have that tri-leaf shape again. Y'all know I did grow this plant really tall, not on a moss pole. She was just on a stake and she matured. You don't always need a moss pole to size of plants. It really depends. In my opinion, you don't necessarily need one for the Wendlandii, and there are some philodendrons that you don't necessarily need a moss pole to grow big. So here she is, just having a full plant with the leaves cascading like that. It's just, for me, very beautiful. Like, it's such a beautiful plant, and I'm really excited to have this grow up the moss pole. I have a cup here with holes. I'm doing a really good job. As I say that, I'm like, this one is okay. It's not that dry. It looks dry, but it's not completely dry. I'm doing a good job at keeping the moss poles wet with this method of just keeping a cup at the top, filling it every 2 days. I am in love with this Syngonium. Oh my gosh, she's so bushy. Look at her. Okay, so Syngonium Wendlandii. Honorable mention. Okay, I debated if I wanted to show this, but it's just, I don't know, in a way, my YouTube channel feels so empty without a Burle Marx flame. So, if y'all didn't know, I propagated my Monstera Burle Marx flame about 2 months ago, and I've been, like, every couple weeks, I've been kind of updating my Patreons on, like, the progress. No casualties, first of all, which is fantastic. I do think this plant is pretty easy, but this is one that pushed out a new leaf. The Monstera Burle Marx flame. Look at this beauty. I just love how she's basically levitating. And It's because the aerial root was so long and I didn't have another container, so this was the only one, this like tall deli container. I filled her up with pod, and you can't really see roots. I think I filmed an update last week, I think, but we have a flame, the very first flame on this propagation. Let me do a count. 1, 2. Okay, I think 9 in total. No casualties. It's been so long since I've shown a Monstera Burle Marx flame, just because I was updating everyone on Patreon. I'm probably gonna do or show the process in December during like Vlogmas maybe, but it's a flame. So I'm so excited to start this journey with this plant. I'm probably gonna repot her once I see a new aerial root coming from that new growth. But I was just too excited. I had to show y'all. And so the honorable mention today is the Monstera Burle Marx flame. Okay, y'all, I guess that's it. I want to... I only did 5. I feel like we're going, like this is a throwback because I used to only do top 5s in the past, and then I did top 10s, and then I was like, let's do more. But I feel like if I did more, it would be Hoyas. And I already showed you my entire Hoya collection, so there's nothing new. But yeah, I don't like necessarily show my Anthuriums these days. And so I felt like I had to just show y'all in this video the amount of growth, the beauty, the largeness, and honestly, I am proud of myself for getting these to grow big. It's always a goal for me to grow plants huge, and I'm hoping like they do continue on this trajectory. And if not, then like I'm open to like learn from like the mistakes I've made, like you saw the Regale. And yeah, just plants are so fascinating. The interest never goes away. I'm still thinking about the queen. So what was y'all's favorites? Obviously mine was the queen. I mean, come on now. Never in a million years did I ever think it would look so good and so big in this environment, in my care, not in a grow tent or cabinet. If y'all have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you made it to the very end, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.